Joining me now live for the Bengal government version with regard to what unfolded in the Law College. Shashi Panja, she's the Minister, Women and Child Development, also Social Welfare. Ma'am, thank you and appreciate you joining us to give out the perspective what the government has to say. Now, within 10 months of RG Kar horror, this time inside a university, a student has claimed that she's been gang raped and that they have been part of the administration in college as well. How does the government possibly defend itself here? Because this to me shows there is no fear of law in Mamata Banerjee's government.
On the contrary, the government is not defending itself. It's taking action. And the action was swift and decisive. And within 12 hours of receiving the complaint, or when the Kolkata police came across this crime, those 3 guys have been nabbed and they are now in custody within 12 hours. We are just saying that we are so serious about this horrific incident and we are not taking it at all casually and not even least of all politically. So leave aside the political statements which come out from the parties in opposition to the Trinamool Congress. What has the government done? The least the government, any government of in this country, in India, should do is to be with the victim, to condemn it and to take action. And that is what Kolkata police has done by nabbing those. I mean, those 3 guys were identified, the ones that she had named. The statement, her statement, which has been recorded with the utmost confidentiality. And the least that any government can do, which we are doing, is to reassure that these people will not go scot-free and they've been nabbed and there will be investigation and they will be punished. For which, I wish to just again reiterate the fact that Aparajita bill is a bill against such crimes on women, which this West Bengal Legislative Assembly, the ruling parties, Trinamool Congress legislators had passed in the Assembly. Now,
which
the
advised
bill has not become an
death for rape.
Act. Yeah, absolutely death. It has to be that severe. You need to have the fear of the law. So this bill should have become an act by now. It's almost 10 months. But why has it not been? Those people who are in opposition to us should answer, because that is lying in the highest echelons. And what are they?
So that's a question for the centre.
So if you're really serious,
Okay. Ma'am, but I'll also want to bring in here, this goes also beyond the rape case here, which is that the BJP Bengal leaders are sharing images of the prime accused with the TMC leadership. What does the TMC then say on this? Because this shows a certain political support that gave these accused the audacity to get away, or at least they believed they would get away with the sexual assault.
Oh, no. The least of all that the Trinamool Congress students wing is, giving them immunity against such crimes is the least that this is not done here. It is not done here, and there's no compromise with this. The point also, again, I'm not defending. I'm placing it on record that the Trinamool Congress students wing, when the last committee was formed in 2022, does not have this person's name, that's Manojit Mishra, that you mentioned. This Trinamool now, many of so-called supporters or followers, or anyway, which way you call supporters, friends, always wanting to have a photograph with the leader, a popular leader. Well, if these photographs are correct, then those photographs of the Honorable Prime Minister with the rapist, or the Honorable former Minister Smriti Irani with the BHU rapist, well, then all those are also true. So if that is true, then you are trying to say this is true. And if you're saying, no, that is false, then isn't this false? So
ma'am, here there's also a confirmation that has come in from the TMC Chhatra Parishad that they did give entry to one of these individuals into their functioning group. And if that's true, because this is not from me, this is from the Chhatra Parishad union that has said, they have apologized, saying that they did not realize he would do this crime, but accepted that in the initial days of the functioning of the Chhatra Parishad, one of these accused was a part of their team. At this juncture, do you think that the TMC would want to put out a clarification an apology and ensure that there is no political support given to the accused at all in the days to come?
Absolutely. There is no political support. I mean, there's no kind of any support to any individual belonging to any organization. That should be our outlook for any political party. Now, if political parties who are now not looking or even empathizing with the victim are more focused, and I was just hearing the statements, even we've
Yes.
been busy all day. I heard these outrageous statements of the leader of the opposition here in Bengal or even the West Bengal Sabhapati in Bengal. I mean, irresponsible statements.
Like
Most
what?
of it. Look at he's saying that this is the rule of the day. I mean, is that the way you speak? Now then we have to bring in NCRB data. We then have to bring in instances in BJP ruled states or the glaring examples in Manipur or even their elected representatives, MLAs and ministers having criminal cases against them, criminal cases against women. About 17 such ministers who are in the union cabinet. What do you say? So this is not your rape and my rape. I really don't want to get into that argument. This is assault on a girl, on a victim. And we have to assure justice to that. And of course, I mean, any such, it should come down to zero. That's what we are saying. And regarding Trinamool Congress, Chhatra Parishad, whatever they've said, we have seen that after 2022, he was not even in that last committee. And maybe in very early student years, he must have been in a very basic post, which, everybody, 1001 people who will be functioning as secretary.
When you say, ma'am, that, and I appreciate that you're assuring all justice to the victim and the family. When you say opposition should not do vulture politics or not make it into a showdown, but when, ma'am, MP of the party, Kalyan Banerjee, says women should be careful who they go out with or associate with, police cannot be everywhere. Isn't this saying that women in Bengal, you're on your own? Because then if an MP makes that statement, do you think it reflects poorly on the government of the state?
I am really not aware of what Kalyan Banerjee has said. And moreover, I am also not aware what did he mean. And are you interpreting it correctly? I don't think he would have meant this. And because here is a party which not only talks about women empowerment, it believes in it and it practically, executes the policy of women empowerment. So it is most unlikely that he would have said this thing. And we always do stand by women's security, for which Kolkata was also one of those places on record. Again, I would say there should not be even one case, but Kolkata was declared the safest city in India, one of the safest metropolis, 3 years in 3 consecutive years. We are not really, relying on such laurels, past laurels, etc. We have been working on this, and that's why you have CCTVs, or we have women police stations, or we have women police officers in every police station. That's how we look at it, and that's why we are trying to reduce it and down to zero. Which obviously you cannot guess who has what in mind. So
my final question to you, Ms. Shashi Panja, would be then that there's been Sandesh Khali, Nadia, Arjikar, now this one. The political showdown is continuing. The opposition has been charging. But I want to quote and become a devil's advocate here. Despite a woman chief minister in our country, has that woman CM failed to protect the women in Bengal, even in a city like Kolkata?
Ma'am, this is a statement which you should not say, or you or me, for that matter. Why is it only woman chief minister has to be the chief ministers? If they are men, they will not look into security issues of women. I mean, this is if you are a leader or you're the head of the state, irrespective of the gender, everybody should be looking into security issues of women. This is one. And secondly, Mamata Banerjee, what is the political will of the government? It speaks from its policies, it speaks from its diktats. So what we have always spoken about women empowerment, be it social, economic, or for that matter, even political empowerment. I think women in Bengal are far ahead of the other states, extremely progressive, and also, yes, as we said, such any kind of crime should be reduced to absolutely net zero.
Okay.
But questions from the political parties is most unfortunate. I mean, they should not be questioning when you have so many questions to answer in all of these BJP's
that
Sarkar
showdown will
states,
continue. We
Sarkar
expect that,
states, and even
but
the
as a
government
government,
which
of
was
course,
here in Bengal
yes, as
prior to
government, of course, the
2011, you
responsibility
should
will
see
be
those
especially on
holidays.
protecting all women, especially young women who are going to college, cannot have this incident happen in a college. Appreciate you joining us, Ms. Shashi Panja. You're the Minister of the Government, to put your perspective as well. Thank you very much for now, and we'll see how the justice is ensured to this young law student in Kolkata.